And we're live. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, another live chat. Been a minute since I've done one of these. I don't even remember the last one. If you're here and you hear me and you see me okay, let me know. Seems to be working okay, but one can never tell. So the way I normally do these things is talk about recent physical media purchases and finds that you might be interested in. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the chat and we can talk about exploitation films. So we got one person. Hello, Kevin. All good. Excellent. Excellent. We can both see and hear you. Perfect. Then let's get started. I was in Paris this summer for about a week, and I bought quite a few movies and stuff. They have a bunch of cool used places that my daughter and I searched out. But the coolest thing that I found was this. Somehow, in Paris, an original Something Weird video DVD of Blood Feast. Made it all the way over there. So, of course, I had to get it. Well worth the €3 that it cost me. So I was very excited that they had that, which is totally awesome. And I don't have it. I've seen the movie, of course, but ages ago. That's pretty cool. And then it's got some special features on there, audio commentary by Herschel Gordon Lewis and producer David F. Friedman, which is awesome. And I did watch this. It has a little short film of like a educational short film on how to cut meat, starring one of the guys that's in Blood Feast, which was super cheesy and kind of fun. So that was my first fun find of the past couple of months. Blood Feast, Herschel Gordon Lewis. Interesting period there. I've talked about his film Scum of the Earth, which is usually considered to be the first roughie. And this film, often considered to be the first splatter film, he made both of those films in the same month, which is just totally insane if you think about it. The guy invented two subgenres of exploitation films in a month, which is amazing. Of course, this movie's pretty bad, but what's the saying? I don't know. Practice makes perfect, or if you have to do something, be first one or something like that. Can you play that on your equipment? Good question. Yes. This is there's no region coding on this, and it worked just fine. I played it on my little laptop DVD player, and it worked just fine. So I don't see any region coding information there. So it seems to be region free. It is NTSC, but that doesn't matter anymore with modern TVs. They can play NTSC and PAL, so that doesn't make any difference. In the old days, maybe it would have with old school TVs, but those days are long past us. So other fun things. I think Vinegar Syndrome had a sale a few months back. So this is one of the things I got. Super Soul Brother and the films of Rene Martinez Jr. He made The Guy from Harlem, which is on here as well, and Road of Death. This one I haven't seen yet. I've seen the others. Horrible movies, just complete garbage, but they're so incompetent. They're somehow entertaining in the way that like Ed Wood films are entertaining. I mean, the guy, this Rene Martinez Jr., very much an Ed Wood type as far as filmmakers go. Garbage stuff, but I do kind of like them anyway. I'm curious to check out Road of Death. I haven't seen that one yet. I watched the guy from Harlem the other day with my wife and son. They hated it, of course. I mean, they're with it for a while, but these things wear out their welcome pretty soon. But still kind of a fun collection from Vinegar Syndrome here. I don't think it costs very much money when the sale's like €8, $8 or something. Yeah, so definitely worth that price. This Super Soul Brother, that's not the title though that's on the movie, and it's not the title that I knew this movie under. The original title is not safe for the internet anymore. It's well, back in the 70s, there was a TV show called The $6 Million Man. The original title of this was The $6,000, and then not man, but the N word. That was the original title. Super Soul Brother, easier to market these days, I guess. Yeah, and I think it was called that at some point anyway. Still, terrible movies, but kind of fun. Right. Yeah, if you picked up anything recently or any cool finds, let me know. What would you consider a modern exploitation film, if any? Do the Sin City movies qualify? No, those don't qualify because they're big budget movies with lots of famous people in them, so that doesn't quite qualify. Of course, Rodriguez is a fan of, these kinds of movies, just like Tarantino is a fan of these kinds of movies, but they don't make exploitation films. But yes, there are plenty of modern exploitation films. Yeah, I dig through the DVD boxes at my local place all the time looking for them. Sometimes I pick them up. Yeah, what are some modern ones? So ones I've talked about on my channel, a few, I guess, been months at this point. I covered a modern one, Space Babes from Outer Space. That would definitely count. That's a low budget thing that entices you with the silly title and nice looking ladies on the box. And there's lots of those kinds of movies with low budget garbage that tries to get you to buy them by having silly titles and nice looking ladies on the cover. So yeah, there's plenty of these things out there. I'm trying to think of some, off the top of my head, some of the filmmakers. Yeah, there's loads. But yeah, I don't watch them a whole lot, but I do occasionally will check them out. What is your list of your... are we doing some weird philosophy questions now? I don't know how to answer that one. Who's your favorite actress from around the... Whoa, God, favorite actress. That's hard. There's a lot that I like. I don't know. I've kind of been into Marilyn Monroe recently, but I wouldn't say she's my favorite. Yeah, that's tough. I'd have to think about it. I guess for today, like actresses working today, I do like Jennifer Lawrence a lot. She picks cool projects. She's got quite a lot of range. I mean, she does comedy. She's done some kind of horror stuff. She's done action stuff. I mean, she can do basically everything, which I think is really impressive. So for working actresses today, I'll go with Jennifer Lawrence. From the old times, I mean, Pam Grier. I love Pam Grier. Yeah, so, but yeah, I have to think about who my favorite one is. That's tough. I watched Slaughter's Big Ripoff last night that featured Ed McMahon as a Cobain overlord. Oh, right. Slaughter's Big Ripoff. I've seen Slaughter. That's you mean like the Jim Brown Blaxploitation one? I haven't seen the Big Ripoff. I imagine that's a sequel, but I haven't seen that one. I do like Slaughter, though. Yeah, I figured. Or I thought maybe you were trying to, make the YouTube AI gods happy. We all have to do that sometimes. Right. What else did I get? I covered one of these movies on the channel. I picked up the Female Prisoner Scorpion collection. It's from Arrow. Yeah, I really liked the first one a lot. Female Prisoner, 701 Scorpion. These are Japanese exploitation women in prison films, which, yeah, I thought the first one's great. The second one I don't like very much, but then the following two are good. Be Stable and Grunge Song are good. I plan to kind of talk about all of them on the channel, but then I did the first one and like hardly anyone was interested in that video, so I don't think I'll talk about the rest of these, although they're very cool movies, and I don't know why whenever I cover Asian stuff, everyone ignores those videos. So that's just the nature of the beast, I guess. The algorithm gods don't like the Asian stuff. So yeah, I don't talk about it that much. Square movies are pretty cool. Yes, they are. What do you think of the streaming service Cultpick? They have a lot of cool stuff on there. A lot. Yeah, a lot of the Something Weird titles are on there. Yeah, they have a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, I like them. They're good. They should sponsor my channel. Lady Snowblood. Yeah, another great one. I actually started a review of that one years ago. Even had like a thumbnail and everything ready to go. And then I think I went with a different Asian film that week instead. That might have been the week I did Terrifying Girls School, Terrifying Girls High School, or whatever, that the Lynch Law Classroom one. I think I did that one instead. And I haven't gotten around to putting together a Lady Snowblood video, but I will at some point. Do you think you'll ever cover any of Andy Milligan stuff? Yeah, I'm sure I will eventually. I was just watching one of his the other day. What was it? Seeds. So yeah, I'm sure he'll make an appearance at some point. Also, pretty bad movies. I'd Fight for Sex and Fury. I already covered that one years ago. That was in the first year of the channel. I don't know if it's on the channel anymore, but I did already talk about that one. I love that movie. It's a great movie. And it's got our girl in it. What's her name? The Swedish one, Christina Lindberg. Yeah, she's fantastic. Blood 74 was interesting. I don't think I know that one. True exploitation isn't possible these days. False. Society is simultaneously too jaded for most things to shock. Not true. And too fragile to handle a few things that would shock it. Also, I don't think that's true. There's all kinds of exploitation stuff. There's all kinds of like extreme horror stuff, which definitely counts as exploitation. I don't know if you'd still consider them modern, but all those like August Underground movies, for example, those are exploitation films. Yeah, plenty of stuff in the extreme horror still being done today. There's still sexploitation films made today, like the one I talked about a few minutes ago, Space Babes from Outer Space, and there's lots and lots of that stuff. Right. What else? Oh, I got some Doris Wishman stuff. Again, with that Vinegar Syndrome sale, I picked up a few of the collections. I got the Midnight Years. I saw her roughies. I'm not a big Wishman fan, but I do like them enough to have wanted to see them in better quality because they did, kind of remaster and rescan the stuff. So yeah, this one's got Bad Girls Go to Hell with the lovely Gigi Darlene, and Indecent Desires on here with what's her name? Sharon Kelly, I think. But yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. If you like Wishman Roughies is on here. And then I also got the later stuff, the 70s stuff. That's the Deadly Weapons. And then the Immortal 3, of course, which is awesome. The Transplant, that's a weird one. And then the documentary, Let Me Die a Woman. I covered that on the channel a few months ago. There's a third collection that goes with these, but that's like her nudist camp stuff. And then like Nude on the Moon, so some like more of the cutie stuff. Oh, but check this out. This is cool. Yeah, they got like some magnets in there. So if you buy 2 of them or 3 of them, they can stick together. That's kind of fun. Met Christina Lindbergh. She was very quiet. Signed my copy of Thriller. Oh, cool. Favorite French movies. Favorite French movies. Well, I did like some of the stuff. What was it called? The New French Extremity. There was some great stuff from that period. Irreversible, I liked a lot. Hard film to watch, but I did like it a lot. Inside, I liked. Martyrs was pretty cool. For older French stuff, back in college, my roommates and I were fans of like Truffaut and Godard. So like Pierre the Fool we watched, and like the 400 Blows, and that stuff is pretty cool. Breathless is a really cool film. Yeah, I'd have to think about it a bit more, but off the top of my head, I'll go with those. I love Transplant. Yeah, that was pretty fun, actually. Yeah, I liked it too. A bit silly, but yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, and I also watched the one that you recommend, G-Biz, when we were talking the other day, or the other month on Discord. The Love Toy. That was kind of a kinky one. That was, yeah, that was fun. Much love, G-Buddy. Thanks, man. And so much fun to watch you. Awesome. Appreciate it. My exploitation movies stick together for nice. Yep, I like that. Oh, maybe this one sticks to something. I picked up a Blu-ray of Flesh Gordon a few months ago. Yeah, the movie it's kind of inconsistent if you ask me, but there's some really funny stuff in here. So yeah, it's worth watching if you haven't seen it, especially for like the end. There's this big monster, it's hilarious. So yeah, Flesh Gordon. I had to watch that one again. It had been a while. Martyrs is a hard watch, but great film. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people like Martyrs more than I do. I think a lot of people list that as their favorite from like the French Extremity. I like Inside a bit more. Parts of Martyrs, even though I like it a lot, I thought was kind of inconsistent, like internally inconsistent. Where like the one woman that's being tortured, they like had a thing over her eyes, but like the whole point is to like look at their eyes when they die. So I'm like, well, why would you cover her eyes? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I do like the movie. It's cool. The horse scene and Love Toy, that was pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. That movie Love Toy. Yeah, it got better as it went. Because at a certain point, Uta Erickson joins the couple in the bedroom, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's on now. Uta's here. Some good stuff. Saw Flesh Gordon the Driver was a 5. Yeah, that's pretty memorable if you're 5. Yeah. A friend of mine's brother wrote the sequel of Flesh. Oh wow, that's fun. Is it called Fleshier Gordon? I wonder whatever happened to the young actress who played the daughter in Love Toy. Good question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I had seen her in anything else. Yeah, she makes some really great faces in that movie, just like these looks of absolute disgust. So yeah, she was good. It was pretty funny. Do you ever think you'll cover any hardcore stuff? Like, no, probably not hardcore stuff. I mean, maybe if there's, well, I mean, some like exploitation films have like hardcore inserts, so something like that I would. Actually, Thriller, there's like X-rated cuts of Thriller that have some hardcore inserts, but just hardcore stuff, probably not. Yeah, there's just too much of it, for one, and I mean, it's already difficult enough to cut around all kinds of stuff to get them up on YouTube without them complaining. And then they complain anyway, even though I've been making like pretty tame versions of the reviews. Because now, with Patreon, I can show a lot more. So I just save the good stuff for Patreon and try my best with YouTube. But yeah, and then it's just so hard. And it would be even harder with the hardcore stuff. Meets the Cosmic Cheerleader. I don't know that one. If not exploitation, what's your favorite genre? Oh, let's see. I'm a huge horror fan. I mean, just looking at my DVD Blu-ray collection, which is on the other side of my laptop here. Yeah, it's probably like about half of them, close to half of them are just horror films. But I didn't want to. I don't talk about horror stuff too much on the channel. There's so many horror channels out there anyway. I didn't want to really do that. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have anything really interesting to say compared to all the horror stuff that's out there. And just between us, I think a lot of like the horror community is annoying, and I'd rather not attract them to my channel. I think they're annoying in the sense that I think that like people that feel part of a community are annoying. Like, no, you're not part of a community. You share a similar interest. Stop talking like your neighbors or something. You just all like slasher films. That's fine. It's not a community. So that's part of the reason I don't do that stuff. Those weirdos who think that they're part of a club can stay in their club. Yeah, I don't want any part of it. What's the Marx Brothers line? I don't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member. But beyond horror, which maybe is too obvious, I like Westerns a lot. I watch them all the time. So those, Westerns are high on my list. Old sci-fi, 50s sci-fi. I love 50s sci-fi. Like Incredible Shrinking Man, one of my favorite movies. The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. A lot of those old, silly 50s sci-fi things I like a lot. Like the what was the one with the brain, the big brains that possess people? That movie is so much fun. The Eyes of Oros or something. But yeah. So those are my favorites. I love Angela Ken. Wouldn't mind a box set of her films. Right on. By Ken Russell is on Tubi now. Not too extreme, but fun as hell. Ken Russell's a fun filmmaker. Yep. Teresa Russell is the titular. Okay, it's a blast. Right. Cool. I don't have Tubi. Tubi doesn't exist in Europe, so I miss out on all the fun Tubi stuff. Got a bunch of Italian crime movies the last week because I can't get enough Henry. So yeah, he's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, like the Eurocrime stuff. That's fun. Yeah. Italian crime films. Yeah, I watched one of those a few months ago, which I didn't like, but even though I do like the Italian crime films, what was it? I watched it because it had an awesome title. Let me see if I can remember what it was. I think it was Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man, which I thought was an amazing title. Movie's not so great, though. Number one, well, there's only really one pick, right? Gotta be Ilsa, yeah? I mean, it's got Diane Thorne in it. Of course, that's my pick. And do you stand up anywhere? You mean like on camera? Yes. I did for one video. I did like an alternative intro where I filmed myself setting up like my little home studio here in my living room. And then I sped it up, to make it fit with like the short sort of intro music. And then I don't remember what video that was, but yeah, if you watch all my old videos, there will be one you'll find where it's me standing up. I think I got some comments about it. People were surprised I was as tall as I am because I am a pretty tall dude, like 6'4", maybe 6'5". I look kind of fat on YouTube, and I'm not like skinny, of course, but I'm also not like super round either. I'm built more like a American football player. So I'm like 6'5", like 250 pounds. So I'm a pretty big dude. Pretty big. Yeah. The brain from Planet Oros. Yes, that movie's awesome. The Farmer's a good one. Yes, it is. I like that a lot. That's a cool movie. I just watched that a couple weeks ago, actually. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it reminded me a bit of I think this came out the same year. What's that called? It's another one about like a war guy who comes back. And it's got Tommy Lee Jones in it, and then the guy gets like his hand chewed off in like a garbage disposal. What is that one? Midnight something. Someone help me out. What was that called? Midnight Thunder. Yeah, that was another good one. If you like The Farmer, Midnight Thunder is also cool. Sorry, I meant stand-up comedy. Oh yeah, I have done that too. Yes, that's true. I have done some stand-up comedy. Very difficult. My very first time. My first time, I was surprised at how difficult it was. Like, because I've been on stage plenty of times before I tried stand-up, because I was a musician when I was younger. So I had like my own saxophone quartet for a while. I played in orchestras. I was in like a punk band for a while. So I've been on stage plenty of times. And then in high school, I was in some of the theater productions. Never like a lead or anything, but like one of the background kind of sing chorus kind of stuff. So I was not prepared the first time I did stand-up for how scary it is to be alone on stage with a microphone and then like jokes I was supposed to remember. And I picked up the mic and then like my brain went completely blank. And that was kind of a scary thing to like look out into a crowd and not know at all what I was supposed to say. Eventually I kind of remembered how it started. And after I got started, I can continue. But it was hard, but still kind of fun. You recently changed your music. Who made the music that you previously used? Good question. So the old music, that was some royalty-free stuff from a website called Ben Sound. I don't remember the artist for that particular track, but it's just, royalty-free, like not public domain, because you still have to like say where it's from, which I do in the description of my videos. And I like that track, and I think it fits really well, but I started to hear it like in other places. And there, there's absolutely nothing wrong with other people using it, because it is, that's what it's for. But I wanted something that was maybe more unique to the channel, which is why I reached out to Gina Volpe. She's the guitarist of a punk band I liked back in the day called the Lunatics, and she makes music on her own now. And she had a new track a few years ago that I liked, and I asked her if I could sample it for the channel, and she said yes. So that's why I switched. So it was more just to have stuff that other people couldn't use. That was part of the reason. And the other part of the reason is, I think Gina Volpe is great, and I freaking love the Lunatics. But I think not a lot of people know about her or them. So I thought, even though my channel is not like big or whatever, if I could help, push someone towards a musician that I like, by always linking her stuff in the description and, with the cards in the video, then I wanted to do that. So that was why. So twofold, have my own stuff and promote an artist that I like. Any word on the future rights to Something Weird video? Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what's going to go on with their website. They're still working on something. I heard through the grapevine they might be doing a streaming service. I don't know if that's true. We will see. But in the meantime, especially for some of their titles that have broader interest, they work together with all kinds of other companies to put them out on Blu-ray. I mean, a few months, maybe a year ago, I don't know when that came out. Yeah, maybe a year ago. I mean, they put out the Flesh trilogy, Michael Finlay's Flesh trilogy with, I think that's with Distrapix and maybe AGFA. And then they put out a bunch of stuff with AGFA, like the Curious Dr. Hump. They put out with AGFA. That's American Genre Film Archives. That's what the AGFA means. Oh, and like these Doris Wishman things. I mean, that's their stuff too. Oh yeah, so yeah, AGFA, Something Weird Video. So yeah, they work with some other indie people to put out their stuff, and that will continue to be the case. When I heard that their website was shutting down or whatever, I thought it was shutting down, like going away, and I sent Lisa like an email in a panic, like, no, you can't let this happen. Like, let me host it, or I'll pay or whatever. And then she wrote back, she's like, everything's cool, it's under control, like whatever. So yeah, everything's cool, it's under control. Those are the words from Lisa. Should I look forward to a future Ed Wood playlist? Well, you know, to continue with the collection stuff, I did get this, the Ed Wood box a few months ago. It's got 5 Ed Wood films and 1 documentary. And yeah, I might do an Ed Wood film. I mean, I don't know which one. Which one should I do? So here in this set, I've got Plan 9. I don't want to do that one. Everyone's talked about Plan 9. Bride of the Monster is here. Glen or Glenda. I don't want to do that one either because it sucks so much, but maybe. Night of the Ghouls and a film called Jailbait, which is not nearly as cool as it sounds. But yeah, so I do have some Ed Wood movies, so maybe I'll do an Ed Wood. If you have a favorite Ed Wood that I have here, let me know. I can maybe move that to the top of the list. Rolling Thunder, that's the one, right? Not Midnight Thunder, Rolling Thunder, yes. Yeah, cool movie. Can you Can you use the Spider-Man music on your channel? You pointed out a few roughies. Okay, right. Vanguard. Yeah, so that's right. That Spider-Man music that shows up in a bunch of the roughy stuff. What was the video I did last week? Diary of a Swinger. So my first cut of that had a longer section of that dance that had more of that music in it, and it got copyright claimed. They said I couldn't monetize the video. It wasn't a copyright strike or anything, but they just said I couldn't monetize the video. And so I thought about disputing it and be like, hey, fair use, blah, blah, blah. But, so I didn't really want to deal with it. So instead I just, I cut it down to something shorter, much shorter. And then I uploaded that. And then while that was uploading, I cut out the music entirely and put up a little card like, you can't hear an example because of copyright nonsense. But luckily, I didn't have to put up that third version of the edit because the much shorter cut went through without any copyright trouble. Yeah, so I will be avoiding that music in future videos now that I know it can get flagged. Any films out there you've heard of and want to see but can't track down? Yeah. Well, G-Biz, who's here, or G-Biz, as he's called here, we have both been looking for a movie called The Diary of Knockers McCullough. I think he found a trailer for it. Like, we hang out on Discord sometimes, and he found a trailer for it, and it looks so cool. This 60s exploitation thing with Rita Bennett as the main gal. I'd love to find that, but I think it might be lost. So yeah, that sucks that it's maybe lost. There's a lot of lost exploitation films. That might be one of them. But Beyond that, for stuff that I know exists, but I haven't just managed to find. Ooh, I have to think about it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's stuff that is easy to get in America and then difficult to get in Europe. So I run into that problem quite a lot. So, for example, I've been wanting like a Blu-ray of the Astron 6 film Father's Day, but the German version of it is censored, and I didn't want that. And there are like a few like other European releases of it that are not censored. Like there's an Italian one, for example. And so every once in a while I go on eBay and I look for one of these other European Blu-ray releases of that movie. And right now I'm currently bidding on a 6-disc set of like Father's Day, because that one is like one of the few releases which is not censored. So I hope I win that auction. Yeah, because then I'll finally have Father's Day on Blu-ray. Yeah. Peak Edward is Necromania. Okay, yeah, that's not in my collection. Surprisingly enough. Favorite acid trip sequence and exploitation film. Oh, maybe I'd have to watch it again to confirm, but there's some pretty trippy stuff in the William Rossler film Leela, which I think is also called Mantis in Lace. So maybe that one. Yeah, that's the one that popped in my head first. Hope you had a nice summer. Thank you. I did. Oh, it's VT. What's up, VT? I did have a pretty good summer. Yes, it was in. Oh, sorry, I got my gum is stuck in a weird spot. Yeah, I hung out in Paris for a while, and then I was there for like a week, and then we went to Brittany to do some more nature hikes by the seaside kind of stuff, and that was cool too. Beyond that, I've been watching movies and hanging out. Night of the Ghouls, maybe Orgy of the Dead. Yeah, do I have Night of the Ghouls? Yes, I have Night of the Ghouls on here. Maybe okay. Maybe that one. Let's see. What else did I get? Oh, this is cool. Oh wait, I gotta be careful. Let me do that. The pickup. So this was Lost. This is a Lee Frost film. It was Lost. It's a crime film, roughie. Lost for a long time, and then there was like a crappy version that was out there. I think the Something Weird version of it had like burnt in like Norwegian subtitles or something, and there were some scenes missing. The print was all beat up, and then like miraculously, like last summer, I think they found a print of this movie like in Paris, and so then Severin put it out. And it's awesome. I like Lee Frost as an exploitation filmmaker, and this was great. So I highly recommend The Pickup. I might do that on the channel at some point. It's really cool. Oh, I just saw The Pickup. Very good. Yeah. The Pickup is really good. Surprisingly. Yeah, it's awesome. It's got a bunch of the same people that you see in other Lee Frost movies. So like I like Love Camp 7 that I talked about. Like Wes Bishop is in there as a guard, and he's like one of the main dudes in this. And then Bob Kress is in this too, as like a gangster type. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's see what else. Well, because I liked Sinners, that got me thinking about From Dusk Till Dawn. So I picked up the Dusk Till Dawn sequels. 2 is like a heist film. I don't like heist films very much, so I didn't like this very much either, even though it's got a good cast. Like Robert Patrick is in this. But I wasn't a big fan. But this I liked a lot. From Dusk Till Dawn 3. If you haven't seen this one, check it out. It's basically a spaghetti western with vampires. So it's pretty cool. It's not spaghetti western, of course. It's an American movie. But yeah, these were like direct-to-video sequels back in the day. You can skip 2 unless you like heist films, but I do recommend 3. It's pretty cool. Just got a German subtitle version of The Black Pussycats, okay, with Marshall Jordan and Angela Cannon. It's much steamier version than most copies available. Yeah, so I complain about German censorship a lot when it comes to like the horror stuff and the bloody stuff, but they are good about the sexy stuff because they don't cut any of that stuff out. Yeah, there's tons of like German like sexploitation stuff from like the 70s, and they went pretty hard back in the day. Right. Oh, this is actually for my son, not for me, but I did like it. Have you guys seen this? Kneecap. So I like this band. It's an Irish language hip hop group. You maybe have heard them in the news because one of the guys, this guy here, is currently in trouble in England because one of their shows in England, he held up a Hezbollah flag or something that somebody threw on the stage, and that's like a band group, and so yeah, he's currently got some legal trouble in England. They're big supporters of Palestine, which as Irish guys makes sense. They would not be totally into like apartheid states, right? But beyond all that stuff, the movie's funny, and yeah, I liked it quite a bit. Kneecap, and I like the band too. I can recommend listening to their stuff. Let's see. Oh, I was kind of on a war movie kick for a while and got Paths of Glory, which is one of my favorite war movies. The Great Escape, because I like Steve McQueen. And Cross of Iron, Sam Peckinpah thing. So those are all decent, worth watching, especially Paths of Glory. I love that movie. That's great. Do you guys like war movies? I don't know how popular they are anymore, but yeah, there's some really great ones. But back to the hardcore stuff. Oh. On the Western angle, have you seen Sukiyaki Western Django? No, but I've heard of it. It's surreal, has Tarantino acting, and features cowboys shooting arrows out of the air. Okay, yeah, I have heard that. Yeah, that does sound very familiar. Are you going to market here? I don't know what you mean by market. No, other than me. I market me. Join my Patreon. Then you can see spicy versions of my reviews. There, yes. So yes, I am going to market here. I just did. Have you seen the early Scorsese film, Who's That Knocking on My Door? No, I haven't. I've never even heard of that. Yeah, nope, haven't. I haven't heard of that one. The earliest Scorsese I've seen is probably Mean Streets. Peckinpah is a great director. The Wild Bunch, one of my favorite westerns. Me too. Yeah, the movie's great. Yeah, that's kind of like American Western that is pretending to be an Italian Western in a way, because it just goes pretty hard into like the violence. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah. It's like it seems like it was inspired by like Django or something. I don't know if that's true, of course, but it just feels that way. Oh, this is cool. Have you seen this? Bra and Cell Block 99 with Vince Vaughn. Really impressed with this one. Vince Vaughn was freaking awesome in this. This movie is brutal as hell. Super, just some bone crunching violence in this thing. So yeah. So speaking of like modern, well, I don't know if this counts as exploitation, but pretty close. I mean, this director definitely dips into that style because he's the director of Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if you ever seen that. It's a cannibal Western film. So he definitely is into the sort of genre stuff. But yeah, Brawl and Cell Block 99, if you want some vicious, bone-crunching violence, that's the one to watch. It's cool. Brawl is a dark film and gritty. Yes. Extremely gritty. Yes. I was a big fan. I'm going to watch it again. Oh, and then some Western stuff. So I don't upgrade often, but I wanted a better copy of The Great Silence. So I got a Blu-ray of The Great Silence. This is a Spanish version, or Spanish Blu-ray, because like the German Blu-ray didn't have English audio or English subtitles. But like one of the actresses in this is American. So I figured it was at least probably partially in English. I mean, with Italian Westerns, they never filmed it in a language anyway. Everyone always spoke their own language and they just dubbed it all over, depending on where they're releasing it. But yeah, this has like, what's her name? Does it say her name on the back here? Isn't it like Vanessa McGee or something? But she's American. I mean, Kinski's German. He probably was speaking German. Anyway, this is a fantastic movie if you haven't seen it. The Great Silence. It's my favorite Sergio Corbucci one. I like it even more than Django. But yeah, it's cool. And then I got this set, Western Unchained. This is a 10 DVD set of Italian Westerns, maybe some Spanish stuff too. It was released here in Germany, I think around the time Django was released. So they're kind of trying to exploit interest in Django Unchained with this Western Unchained. And then some of these movies they did like, curate because they were some of Tarantino's favorite ones. And I guess Tarantino put together in Venice, he did a Spaghetti Western Film Festival. And then some of these are ones that played at that film festival. So they're all ones that Tarantino's aware of and likes. And some of them are some of his favorites, like here they say that's from Tarantino's top 20 list on the Spaghetti Western database, for example, or To Paper, that's another one on this top 20 list. But anyway, what's cool about these is, they're not all great movies, although I've seen all of them except one now, and they've all been fun enough. But what's more fun is you can see that Tarantino really liked them because a lot of stuff in here that later shows up in Tarantino films. It's like at one point, I don't even remember which movie it was, but this guy's a white carnation and then he gets shot and then the carnation starts to bleed. I'm like, oh, that's where that idea comes from Django Unchained. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then another one is all these people who really don't know who everyone is are kind of locked in this like house for a while. I'm like, oh, that's like Hateful Eight. Right on. Cool. I think we got some more. Let's see. Riot and Cell Block 11 is pretty impressive. A great Don Siegel. Don Siegel, I like him. Worth its salt. Yeah, he's a good director. He used to joke about himself that his style was no style. I think that was his line. But yeah, he did a bunch of different stuff, like different genres and whatever. Yeah, it's good. In fact, I think one of these movies I got is a Don Siegel one. The Killers. I think that's him. Is that Don Siegel? I think it is. Maybe. But anyway, The Killers is cool. I think it is a Don Siegel movie. I think this is the first made-for-TV movie, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, I got it because Lee Marvin's in it, and he's awesome. But it's still pretty good. It's about a hitman or two hitmen, and then their target doesn't seem to care that he's being targeted, They kind of curious like why that would be the case. But yeah, so it's fun. And then another Italian Western picked up Death Rides a Horse, Lee Van Cleef, which in German, von Mann zu Mann, from man to man, which I'm not sure which title is better. I guess Death Rides a Horse is pretty cool as a title. So yeah, that's okay. Actually, the thing with I was looking for a different movie, and then I'm like, oh, is that it? And then I bought it. But the one I was looking for, because sometimes it gets confusing with these movies because they have different titles in all these different regions, and then sometimes they release under more than one title. Anyway, I was looking for a movie that in English is normally called A Day of Anger, but then that's not A Day of Anger. A Day of Anger is a different one. But I ordered A Day of Anger this morning, so that should be here next week. Do you think exploitation and sleaze is more popular in Europe than the U.S.? Oh, I have no idea. No, I don't think so. Just based on where, like, the boutique labels are that release this stuff. I mean, they're mostly U.S. Maybe like Vinegar Syndrome and Agfa. I think Agfa's U.S. And then Something Weird, of course. Distrapix. I mean, they're all like Severin. These are all American companies, and they seem to be surviving. So that suggests to me there's a market for them. I mean, here in Germany, we have some like boutique labels too, but they don't seem to be nearly as big or as successful. But there is one that I like here, and whenever I'm in the video shop and I see one of the movies, I grab it, even if I normally have no idea what the movie's about. But it's called like Classic Cult Collection. They have this, and I buy those whenever I see them because they put a bunch of cool stuff. But yeah, overall, I imagine, but it's hard to say too because like America has so many more people. Yeah, what's population America now? Like 340 million people or something. I mean, Germany is like 80 million. Yeah. So yeah, I would imagine America has more genre film fans. Death Rides a Horse is pretty fun. Yep, it is pretty fun. That's the Siegel version. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. Has Ronald Reagan as the bad guy. I was impressed with how bad Reagan was as an actor. It's like the guy's like no talent whatsoever. It was really surprising, actually, because I think it was the first time I saw him in a movie. Maybe I saw him in a Western or something as a kid and didn't know. But this was the first time I saw him, as an adult who knew who he was. And yeah, I guess I just kind of figured that maybe he was good or charming or something, which is how he, went from that into a political career. But no, he sucks. He's like a terrible actor, like no charisma whatsoever on screen. It was really surprising, actually. Hey, Exploitation, you've done a review of Toxic Avenger. Kind of. A few years ago, I did an analysis of like Troma's comedy writing style. And then I used the Toxic Avenger as an example. Because I didn't want to just do a Toxic Avenger movie because it's a review because it's a classic. And I don't really like talking about classics that are at that level because, I mean, the movie's been reviewed and talked about by thousands of people. Like, what could I possibly say that would be at all interesting? So I typically avoid like big classic films like that. But I love Troma and I love that movie. And I know a little bit about comedy writing, so I thought I would do that and kind of talk a little bit more about like how jokes are put together and then use the Troma movie as an example. So yes, there is. Yeah, it's been covered a bit. Yeah, The Toxic Avenger is like a cult classic among cult classics, Right. But since you're all here, I can tell you that on Monday there will be another trauma film I'm covering for the Monday review, Toxie Part 4, Citizen Toxie. So that's coming. Because that one, yeah, I don't think nearly as many people have talked about that one. Right. So do I have anything else here? Oh, a couple more horror films. Slugs. Have you seen Slugs? Slugs is awesome. Well, Slugs is one of those movies that could have been like just top tier creature feature because I love the beginning. I love the middle. It's so gross and slimy and gory and fun. Oh, just like the German says here, schleimig, klebrig, tödlich. Slimy, sticky, deadly. But the end of this movie is so stupid. It like really just drags down the whole experience. But I do like Slugs a lot, despite that terrible ending. But yeah, so I had to get Slugs. Or so, oh yeah, that's right. Who's putting that out? Is that Vinegar Syndrome? I saw that on one of the label sites recently. Yeah. Desert Island, you can only have 10 movies, any genre. What are they? Oh, okay. So I can do this. Let's see. I have to think about the movies that I never get tired of watching. So movies I never get tired of watching. Jaws, I never get tired of that. RoboCop, I can watch that over and over and over again. Let's go with Return of the Living Dead. Oh, I'm probably going to have more than one zombie movie on here since I love zombies so much. So Jaws, RoboCop, Return of the Living Dead. We'll go with, yeah, I should do a Romero zombie one. I think for Romero, yeah, maybe Night of the Living Dead. So that's 4. And then for number 5, I'll go with Casablanca. I love that film. I love Humphrey Bogart. Let's see, 5 more that I never get tired of. Let's go with bit of a weird one. You might not expect this, but I'm a huge fan of the Walt Disney cartoon Beauty and the Beast. So that's going on my top 10. I love the music in Beauty and the Beast. I can listen to that soundtrack all the time. It's fantastic. So Beauty and the Beast, number 6. What else? Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood, Western Unforgiven, number 7. King Kong, original King Kong. I love that movie. Seen it a bunch of times. We'll watch it a bunch more times. I think that number 8. I need 2 more. Let's see. Probably more horror stuff. Let's go with Reanimator. I might go Reanimator. I don't get tired of that one. I love that movie. And The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. That's my top 10 off the top of my head. Oh, I didn't pick any exploitation films. I should have picked one of those. That would be good to have in a top 10 if you're on a desert island. So maybe I have to kick one out, and I have to think about which one to kick out. But let's see. A sexy movie. The Cheerleaders. That'll be number 11, The Cheerleaders. And then I'll kick out I don't know, maybe one of the zombie ones, since I had like 3 zombie movies. From the director of Pieces. That's right. Yeah, Slugs is the director of Pieces. Yeah. Pieces is also another movie that I love that has like the stupidest ending imaginable. Like, it just makes no sense. It's completely asinine, but yet it's still cool. Very 80s, very fun. Yes. What's your take on Night of the Juggler? I haven't seen it. Have you ever seen the film? No. If you have, will you consider the nice set coming out in the UK? I didn't know there was a nice set coming out in the UK, and I've never heard of the movie, so sorry I can't be better informed here. Yes, it was. Same guy that did Pieces. Just got here, sadly, better than ever. Yes, welcome. I remember renting Slugs out, yeah. Other than all Lynch's films, Piranha, yes. Oh, and you know what? As much as I love Joe Dante's Piranha, I love Piranha 3D. That movie, I've watched that a bunch of times. That movie is great. I even have it in 3D on like a, and I watch it sometimes with my PlayStation VR glasses because you can watch 3D movies. Yeah, Piranha, awesome stuff. The Prowler is the Prowler's got some good kills in it. Yeah, overall the movie I don't like a whole lot. But yeah, it's got some just wonderful like murder set pieces. Um, I like the one where he stabs a guy to the top of the head and his eyes are all white. Like that's just that image is like burned into my head. Right. So I think I got one more. I picked this up called the German is called Headhunt in German. I think the original title in English is called Red Ink, or like Red Incorporated, like INC period. But this is a cool like business theme splatter film with special effects by Tom Savini, which is why I bought it. And I liked it a lot. And it is like the box says, it's fun as hell. So if you're looking for some cool Savini splatter, yeah, it's worth watching. Headhunt, which where you are is maybe called Red Ink. Yeah, fun movie. Pretty gory. So yeah, which is good. Right. And I think that's all I have. Well, I mean, stuff that you might be interested in. I bought like some Disney movies and stuff too, but I don't think anyone wants to hear me talk about Aladdin, even though Aladdin's awesome. So with that, any final questions or comments? If not, I will sign off here. It's been about an hour. That seems like a reasonable amount of time. Let's see. So what is my favorite slice and dice? So not the Prowler, but yeah, favorite slasher. That's so hard because there's so many. I mean, in general, I like the Friday the 13th ones. As far as like the big, series go, that's my favorite of like the big slasher like series. So yeah, maybe Friday the 13th Part 4, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be hard to pick. Candyman's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. You rock. Thank you. Have you ever reviewed Kiss? Yeah, I just reviewed that like 2 weeks ago. Kiss Me Quick. Yeah, check the channel. 2 weeks back. So yes, that's a very recent one. Yeah. Something tells me his favorite is Dick. I don't know what you're talking about. But no, I'm not gay. I'm married with children. Great stuff. Looking forward to more stuff. Thank you. There will be more stuff coming up on Monday. Citizen Toxic Venture Part 4, which is hilarious and awesome. Right, then I will see you on Monday. Thank you for turning out.